Hey friends, welcome back, and today I will use the opportunity to give you the real story behind winning my first few contracts on freelancer.com, why I think it's easy and how this model can be easily replicated to any industry or any niche. Before reaching the number one spot on freelancer.com and in general before I even started freelancing, I felt like I had a whole other life. I used to work in hospitality, specifically as a waiter, and I started by cleaning glasses and plates in local bars called Karolina and Pommery. Karolina was so busy and it had one tiny machine back then, and no matter how hard I tried, I would still get this whole bunch of glasses and plates in front of me. I even tried coming up with different methods and different tactics on how I can be more efficient, but it seemed like whatever I tried, I would still be behind on this whole pile of things. However, they recognized my effort and soon promoted me to waiter, which was great because I was able to get more tips, speak with more people, and instead of spending my time with the dishes. And of course, all in all, it was a lot better. I didn't last long as I wasn't really made for it, but I still somehow managed to grow as a waiter, work in many different places all across the world, and I even got to work in a private club in Tree Arena in Dublin as a head waiter and serve Adele, Bono, The Church, Colin Farrell, and many other well-known celebs, which would turn out to be a changing point of my life. I think that it gave me a lot of the tools for the job that I actually do today, like patience, communication, and all in all, as it was a very tough job, appreciation for the ability to really work under my own terms. Now that you have a bit of backstory, let's find out how I actually got my first projects and how that looked. I think that bidding extremely hard at the beginning is an absolute must. There are plenty of tools, especially AI, that can really assist you, and there is probably no need to go as hard as I did 5 or 6 years ago because you can organize things better, but you definitely need to put some effort in and some work in. Delivering projects and actual bidding on projects doesn't come to what you are going to offer, but finding out what you can do really well and excel at it, because this will bring you repetitive jobs and amazing reviews, which will be a great starting point going forward. Once you have that decided, it's important to build a great profile and find out how you can write amazing custom bids. You will see on my profile that I talk about that often and in detail in numerous videos, and just by implementing these tips, you can get it done in practically no time. Back then I started Googling best paid online jobs and I found out this term called freelancing and freelancer.com, which was and still is the most popular network, which basically connects people who offer projects with those that can do it successfully and successfully deliver it. I remember winning my first project, which was £9 or roughly $11, and it was about creating packaging for a client that was making carpets. And back then I didn't know anything about packaging, I didn't have any experience in design, but I committed myself to delivering really an amazing project in a short amount of time. I knew how important my first review was, and I spent the next 48 hours watching YouTube videos on how to do it successfully. I reached out to various experts to provide me with feedback, and most importantly, I spent a lot of time with my client to really nail what he was after, as I'm a massive believer that the communication and over-delivery is absolute key. And it happened after a bit. I got my first 5-star review, I was on cloud 9, and I decided it was time to push. I started adding various benefits into my offers, and I started creating very engaging hooks to really win their attention over. If you're not familiar with hook, this is a short excerpt at the beginning of your message where you really try to say something catchy to get the client's attention. It can be something like, hey, I think that you want to read this, or you take a short piece of their project and really explain how you would tackle it and what is the thing that you can bring to the table. Regarding benefits, you can say that if they create milestones, the payment will be fully protected. They can use this message as a proof that you will be refunding them just in case, that you fail to deliver. This way they are protected, and this is great for them and eventually for you as well. And then the second project happened. As I had a bit of previous experience in digital marketing, both in local PPC agency and by contracting for Google via a vendor company, I used all of the knowledge from the first project and tailored my offerings specifically to the needs of that client, but this time I got $20 to set up their campaign, and it took me only 2 hours, so now I got $10 per 1 hour of work instead of mere cents that I had on my previous gig, and it was amazing. I again committed myself to over-delivery. I even included instructions for clients on how to manage it themselves, and they really appreciated all of that and left me a stellar review. I got my second 5-star review and I was off to an amazing start. I then went on and put many new bits in as I was super motivated with this experience because I could finally see what is happening, earn money working from my couch or my desk, and it was the real thing. I got $400 to set up a marketing campaign along with some early management. It took me less than a day for all of that and my mind was completely blown away. I realized how incredibly doable this was, how rewarding it is, and I was 100% sure that this is the life that I wanted to live. Many projects later, over 200 just on Freelancer.com alone, and with $2 million both in earnings and with projects that are in the pipeline, I'm realizing what a great decision it was, and I'm 100% sure that this should be that little piece of motivation that you are after and that this is your sign to start pushing. Please start pushing, please start bidding, and start winning those gigs. Ask me anything as I will be super happy to help you. And if you want to follow my tips and my story, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And like usual, see you in the next one.